So, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a bit of a different video to the last couple. I know the last couple have been very car-y orientated, but I've had this car for 2 months now, give or take a couple of days, and I wanted to just talk about what it's like to own for those 2 months and how it's felt come from a completely different car, a four-door saloon in the Giulia, to come to this as my only car. I do have access to my mum's purple Fiesta, which is an absolute hero. I drove that around for a little bit and every now and then I'll use that, but my main car that I would use for any day-to-day business is this. And it's very different to the Giulia, so I wanted to just do a little bit of a roundup on how the last 2 months have gone. Have there been any issues? What's the money been like on it? What's the cost of running it? Any surprises, anything that I'm enjoying, anything that I'm not enjoying? So we'll go through all that, and we'll also take a drive out to a nice place in Shropshire Hills. Really nice area around there. Go do some nice driving, enjoy the sunshine, and I'll get some clips as well, see if we can get some nice shots. So just drove over a stick. So yeah, let's get moving. So, 2 months in then. It's been a really good car for the past 2 months. I test drove one of these about a year ago and I have wanted one, and when I went to buy this car I was a bit stupid really. All I did was pay for a car vertical report. I found the car, it was manual, red, that's all I really cared for. Well, I wanted the LSD and the Brembos as well, so it had the spec for me. Didn't really care too much about the visibility pack, which this doesn't have, which gives you the LED lights, and I also didn't really care too much about having the heritage pack either. So it's very standard, but it's what I wanted really. So we've got the red car, manual, Brembos, LSD, and rang up the guys at this dealership and I thought, do you know what, I just want the car. So I paid the deposit and then went and collected the car a couple of weeks later, well, about a week later. Haven't really looked back since really. It has been kind of faultless until recently. On the way home from the last video, some of you may have noticed I had a check engine light on the dashboard. It came up on the way to Sharsley Walsh actually, and didn't have really any other option other than just to continue. What was weird is that the car was driving perfectly fine. I thought, do you know what, surely it's just a sensor or something like that that's kicked off, it's causing a light. Until I got home, read the code, and it was P1066. This code is related to the multi-air system, so I was like, oh crap, have I bought an absolute lemon here? I went and checked the oil level, and lo and behold, there's absolutely naffle oil in the car. After I've done all that, turns out the car's due a service this week anyway. Let's just book it in and we'll let them know about the code, and if this service solves it, then happy days. If it doesn't, then at least they know. It's had its service done. I had an engine flush done at Johnson's Alfa Romeo Solihull. Since then, it hasn't thrown the engine light back up. I've done a bit of driving since, I've driven every day, and yeah, no engine light yet. So hopefully that's the only issue that I'm gonna have, and it was an easy fix. It was just a service. As far as issues goes, like actual issues, that's it. I've not had any other issues. Nothing else has gone wrong with the car so far, and hopefully it doesn't. Now, issues for me, as in like personal issues, nothing mechanical or anything like that. I'd say the seating position, my friends won't agree with me, but I am 6 foot and I'm kind of a stocky guy. I have driven this car on long journeys. I can sit in the car for a while, but I find when I get out, my lower back isn't very thankful of me doing so. The one other tiny nitpick, engine tone at high revs. I'm looking at the idea of fitting a sports cat. Reason being, not because I want it any louder per se, it's just the fact that when you're up in the revs, past about 4.5 to coming up to 6.5, 7, the car just sounds loud. It doesn't have, like, to me anyway, it just doesn't have like a tone to it. Maybe when you're behind the car, because I've not sat behind it while it's floored it, obviously I'm driving it. But in the driver's seat, it just feels like it could do with a little bit more bass to it or something like that, a bit more tone, a bit more free-flowing. So I think maybe a sports cat is on the horizon. So far, as complaints are, that's pretty much it. I knew what I was getting into. I knew this car wouldn't be a contender for the Giulia for comfort. Now, I do daily it and I do go to work. My commute is about 10 minutes, I'm not going to lie. I have a very easy commute and I don't have to drive every single day. I do drive the car probably more or less every day just to go to the shops and go to the gym, but to actually commute to work, I only commute once or twice a week. It's fine for me. Maybe if you've got a longer commute, you might not want to do that, but over the past 2 months I've not seen any issues, and it's been really nice to drive to work with the roof down. Kind of feel energised when you get to work, really. Other things that I've done over the past 2 months in my ownership. First one being the short antenna. I bought that before I took delivery of the car. I just think it's a must for these cars, they need it. I installed a BMC air filter, just a replacement panel filter from BMC. I had one in the Alpha. It gave a little bit extra sound, like it's nothing crazy. I just put them in because I know they're a higher quality part, and for 30 quid, 40 quid, it's just a mod that you can do as soon as you get a car, which you know is just going to be better, and it's just a bit cheap, so I think why the hell not? Of course, the springs and spacers. So I went for IBAT lowering springs, and I think they were 15mm spacers all around. I can't quite remember actually. I think that again is kind of a must mod for this car. Obviously, if you're not bothered about the looks and the stance of the car, then that's fine, don't bother. But for me, it was kind of important because I like to take photos and video of the car. But as well, I just wanted to get that front end a little bit more, less rolly on turn in and stuff, and it really did solve that. This thing handles like a go-kart now. It's really, really good. So that's the list of mods that I've done over the past 2 months. I insured the car for a year and it came out to around £800. Insurance is different for everyone, but that's for me, 800 quid. Happy with that. The cost of running it over the past 2 months hasn't really been strenuous. I think the tax is £170 for the year. So tax 170, insurance 800, and then £50 a week in fuel if you're doing, let's say, about a medium amount of driving. So really not too bad. The car does need a detail. I did have a crack at it, and I was going to film a video of me having a crack at it, but I think the panel that I tried it on, I kind of just ended up ruining the car a little bit more. Any other plans for the car going forward? So yeah, I'd quite like to put some cooler wheels on it. I've grown to really enjoy these wheels and like these ones, but I would like to put some bronze sort of wheels on here. I think they'd look gorgeous. Overall, that's kind of been my experience over the past 2 months. It's been a really, really fun car, and that's why I've wanted one. The manual gearbox is really, really good, really engaging. I'm learning how to heel and toe in the car. The more I drive it, the better I get at doing that. I think overall, the past 2 months have been a standing success, really. It's just that one hiccup with the engine light. Hopefully I don't get anything like that again. Really glad I got the car, and I will do a full proper review on it soon. So yeah, I mean, if there's anything else you want to know about the car, or anything that you want to see me do on YouTube, please let me know in the comments. I will be doing a camping video soon. I'd like to go camping and take the car out to somewhere rural like Lake District or Scotland. That'll be a fun video. But until then, that's been my experience over the past 2 months with this car. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of the shots that I got from Shropshire. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to drop a like, tell your sister, tell your mother, tell your friends, enjoy the video, enjoy the channel, go look at my Instagram, all that stuff. Give us a follow, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao for now.